Here's my audience for tonight. So according to Nadia Kunang and her article, U.S. heroin deaths jumped 533% since 2002. Heroin users from 2002 to 2016 has jumped from 404,000 to 948,000. That eye-opening fact is in that same time period that the total number of fatal doses, related to heroin has jumped from 2,089 all the way up to an estimated 13,219 cases. So as a group, we are here to inform you guys, about this heroin epidemic that is affecting our country and our community of Youngstown. There are certain problems that are created through this epidemic, and we are starting to notice it more commonly, in our area. And we are here to tell you guys that, hey, something needs to change to, help fix this. So the heroin epidemic is a potential life-threatening problem, for our community and the members, and we need to take notice of it. And as a community, we see on a weekly basis, some of the effects that it's having. In the news, we see, whether it's a death or an overdose or a crime, there's something that we're seeing that's related to heroin too often, and it's, starting to get out of control. So through our research and collaboration, we have proposed something that is a solution to the problem and shows you guys what's at stake, in the present and in the future. This problem, affects a lot of people, and we hope by telling you guys a little bit more about this epidemic that it might open some of your eyes and cause you guys to do your own thing and maybe come up with something that can help our community. So clearly I've displayed that, there is a problem, and some of these effects that it's having on our community are increased crime rate. It is affecting mothers who are currently addicted to heroin, and it is affecting the children that they're having that have to deal with their guardian or parent who is an addict. Then there is the increased availability of it and how it is affecting our police and medical units who directly deal with it on a daily basis. So I'll start by introducing one of the more prominent effects of the epidemic, and that is the increased crime rate. So the New York Times article tells us that researchers found that the incidence of crime rose sharply in periods of addiction and fell dramatically in periods of abstinence or minimal drug use. So like I said, there's a clear problem nationwide and in our community, and it is not only increasing the use of heroin, but the addiction part of it and the distribution part is what's also increasing, and that's helping to increase these crime rates. So in that same article, Dr. Ball, a former president of the American Society of Criminology, says he is very surprised by how much crime is committed by heroin addicts, and that there was a distinct difference between rates between an addict who was on and off the drug. Then there was a study done that showed the correlation between increased crime rates and heroin addiction. This was done by Temple and Maryland University doctors and or students. And how it differed from different studies in the past was that it showed the relationship on a day-to-day basis. So what crimes and who was committing them on a day-to-day basis rather than a weekly or monthly. Therefore the representation of this correlation was more accurate. So what that also told us was that some of these addicts, some of the crimes they're committing, are starting out or used to be more on a less violent side, and they were, stealing merchandise or money or jewelry to exchange for the drug, or they were stealing the drug itself or other prescribed opioids that they could get their hands on to kind of numb their addiction. But now we are starting to see more of a trend that is leading towards more violent crimes and different crimes. So like I said, there used to be more of the property crimes, the stealing, things like that. Now we're starting to see more of the trafficking, and what that brings with it is, weapons, ammunition, and, deaths by guns. Sami Ali says that the Department of Justice has taken notice of this ongoing epidemic, and they want to speed up this policy that they're trying to propose that would help states share information to help each other stop this trafficking, whether it's in state lines or over state lines, to help kind of control this epidemic and kind of bring it back to earth a little bit. So like I said, Dr. Ball mentioned that there is, a direct correlation between, the increase in trafficking and increases in overdose. And something I thought that was interesting that he said was that if we can control addiction, it is evident that we will reduce criminality. So therefore, you just go right to the base, of this problem, and that's the addiction. That's the drug itself. If we can control that, the effects that stem from it, could start to diminish. So I've mentioned a lot of the crimes, that could be committed or that, are increasing because of the addiction. So how this kind of relates to our area, Youngstown, the community we live in, is that the Department of Justice on our website mentioned that back in August of this year, 21 people were indicted in federal court for trafficking heroin. Of those 21 people, 12 had 79 counts against them as a part of a conspiracy that dates back all the way to August of 2015 that entails trafficking and distributing heroin as well as possessing firearms and ammunition. Another 7 of those people in a related case got charged with just trafficking and distribution. But the scary thing is it mentioned the names of the people and what areas they were associated with, and you saw towns like Boardman, Poland, Canfield, Warren, the surrounding areas of Youngstown, these suburbs where families are, they're more populated, and you start to see, it started in Youngstown, but it's starting to spread, and you have it going all over, and a lot of these people were associated with the Youngstown and Ravenna area. And this large ring of trafficking, it's only the basis of what has become of this heroin epidemic in our area. It continues to grow, and it's getting more violent, and the increasing crime is, going through the roof in all areas, and it is time to kind of take notice on that and hopefully come up with something that can help lower it.